Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special episode of Base Builder Monday. My name is Ben. I work on the marketing team from Blimflux Studios, who are currently developing Ground of Aces. So we have just released Alpha 2, and Alpha 2 is based on all of the feedback that you guys gave from Alpha 1. And one very important thing is the whole balancing system of the resources, balancing of the emotional systems, and this is something that I want to try out today. I would like to show you what you can expect, what you can get from an Alpha 2 version in around maybe 2 to 3 hours worth of gameplay. So let's get started. One of the new things that we have is a new map here in Perranporth down south in Cornwall, a Riviera map. So the first thing you notice is that there is a bunch of sand here. That is because we're on the Riviera side of England, down south in Cornwall. You can see the beautiful cliffs here. There will be water added to this, by the way, but so far it's just a nice steep drop. But you see that the map is very arid, very sandy, and there's a lot of space of nothingness. So this poses a whole new challenge in terms of resources. The farther south you go, the more greener and lush it gets, and that's where the resources are which we will need. So if you played the game before, you will recognize that all the main resources that you will need are close by here. So you have a pond, you got some food, you got your wood. There's a clay pit here, and there's a sand pit around you. There we go. There's a sand pit there. So all of the resources that you need to get going are close by. And that's why the developers built these half-built buildings here as sort of as an incentive to, hey, start building your base around here because this is where all the resources are, as opposed to all the way up north where there is essentially nothing, right? So we have this area to work with. There are two buildings here that I can turn into a bigger building. I'm going to clear this area up because I actually want to keep these fences. Unfortunately, though there are fences as props here, we don't have fences as an option to build. There are some new props, though that wasn't a focus for the Alpha 2. We have small, medium, and large wooden tables as new props. New props will be coming, of course, but for now, those are the only three new ones. So we don't have any fences, which I would love to have. But I want to keep these instead of deconstructing them. If you deconstruct them, you can then get wood out of it. Same goes for the car. That gives you some metal. But I want to keep these fences. The first things first, I'm going to invest some time in collecting some resources to get the game going. So I've started building the first important workbenches for food, wood, and metal. A storage space for all of the resources, some of which have already decayed. Oops, I haven't finished building the roof yet. And most importantly, I built some beds. So, and that brings me to the first point of discussion, and that is the emotional system. This has been tweaked a lot for Alpha 2. So you have confidence, energy, and mood. And if any of these drop too low, the characters start to behave in ways that are very detrimental for the game and makes it very difficult to win. What I do not want to have happen is their energy values dropping too low, because then they just stop working and they eventually faint. That is why it is important to build beds in the beginning. So there's this sense of time rush when you start the game to quickly gather your resources and kind of figure out, okay, which are the most important things that I have to build first in order to ensure that these values don't drop too low. I've been playing for half an hour now, just trying to get the basic resources going. I'm nowhere near finished, but it felt like I had to be really attentive on keeping these energy levels high. And that's why I had to build these makeshift beds here tight to each other as quickly as possible. So the guys are sleeping now, and this gives me a chance to kind of go through their emotional values. They're pretty balanced out, except for some people who, like Jeffrey, is very tired. There's like very low energy. Thomas Walker is very low. He's been working in the kitchen nonstop for the last 3 days or something. So I need to make sure that everyone has enough energy, and I also need to make sure that I start improving their confidence and their mood, because those are also getting dangerously low. I'm actually going to ask Thomas Walker to eat something here, and then let's see if his energy improves by 10. That's okay. So now he can go back to work. I'm just going to ask him to eat some more. Just enjoy it. So I now have a consistent influx of food and water. That means I have enough energy. So now I can turn my attention to mood and confidence. So I will start with confidence. Building flags will boost confidence. Let's do that. So I'm just checking in the middle of the night, and these guys are asleep, and there's one bed that's empty, and some guy is missing. And check it out, some dude here has passed out. Jeffrey, oh, I'm sorry, Jeffrey. See, his energy levels dropped way too low, and he just passed out in the middle of working, and that is my bad. Oh dear, I think he's about to get up now. He's probably gonna get up and then run straight to bed. Yes, he is. That was funny. Sorry, Jeffrey. So at this point, I've created a nice balance in my base. I have a constant influx of a lot of food, so I don't have to worry about energy. They get enough sleep. My confidence will be improved as time goes on because I've built my flags, and flags improve your confidence in the war. And they have a good mood because they have a lot of leisure time. That's reflected here in my schedule. They got sleep, they got leisure where they can eat and chill, and they got work time. So perfect work-life balance. So it is at this point in the game, once you have this stable foundation, where you can move on to bigger and better things, like finally building this contraption of a house and actually turning it into something that doesn't look so embarrassing. We're going over these guys and their stats. It looks like they're largely okay on the energy side. Everything is green, base morale is high, so I'm doing a good job. Maybe you need to improve confidence a little bit, but that's not going to be a game over deal. I will now be adding some props like a radio to improve confidence and mood. Some chairs, mood and energy, that's perfect. Some more random chairs. A piano, good for morale. So recap, after an hour and a half, I'm building a nice work zone for my workbenches. I got this area for my storage. This is where they're going to sleep next to a rusty car. That's just the way it is. And this is the chill out area where they can relax and regain their strength. So everything looks good on the survival part. So we have a good baseline. Now comes the fun part. The goal, of course, is to get some planes going on here and to at some point send your pilots out on missions. So I'm actually going straight for a sand runway. This is going to take a very, very long while, but I do want a tier 2 runway in order to get Spitfires, the level 2 planes. So maybe just a few words, a few mentions of the other additions to Alpha 2. So we have this terraforming feature, which allows you to build roads the way you want, turn ground into other kinds of ground like sand or concrete or what have you. And I like to use that to create nice little roads and paths, and to make things look like, like it's a base with pavements. And what you also might have noticed that these different grounds, they have different speeds. So when you walk on dirt, you're slower than walking on steel tarmac, for instance. So that can help in the long run when it comes to maybe moving stuff around, hauling things, or transporting stuff. Also a whole bunch of small quality of life upgrades that we made, like being able to move stuff around, like moving a bed from A to B. You can now do that easily. So if I move my bed over here, actually I have to move all of their beds so that they don't have to sleep right next to each other every night. So now let us use this opportunity to get some Spitfires in here. Oh, I'm gonna enjoy this. So this is my first Spitfire on the new map. First of 5. Look at that beautiful, magnificent beast. There we go. Where's number 2? Keep them coming. Let's speed things up a bit. Woo! Now we have 5 Spitfires. We also have 5 more people, which means we need 5 more beds actually. And we don't have enough food for everyone. Ooh, it's a whole new balancing. So now, yeah, more people now on the field. So I'm not gonna figure out how to feed these people. Oh. So this is Alpha 2, and this is what about 2.5 hours of gameplay gets you. You can get all 5 planes, you can get a runway, you can have a very small base, but most importantly, you can figure out how to balance all of these emotions down here to create stability. You can have, these aren't even all the workbenches, these are just like the main workbenches. So this was actually very, very fun. One of the main things that we wanted to fix for Alpha 2 was this balancing system here, right? The emotional system, and how that plays into time management, resource management, and how you prioritize one but neglect another. So that balancing system was really important to us, and I think it did a really good job. It felt all right to me. And there's still so much to do. Like I said, I've only done 2.5 hours. I haven't started any missions. I haven't been attacked yet. This is really still the beginning of the game. Much more to come, I guess, and there's much more to come for Alpha 3 as well. And if you guys give some feedback that we can use, then those ideas will also be part of the next Alpha release. So there's no big base after 2.5 hours, but it was definitely some very fun gameplay in there, and that's what awaits you for Alpha 2. I cannot wait for Alpha 3, where there will actually be more planes, if I'm not mistaken. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me on playing Alpha 2 for the first time. Hope you enjoyed it. Have you played Alpha 2? Do you want to play Alpha 2? Let me know. Give me some ideas on stuff to build on this new base overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.